What's up guys, this is Ashish here and you're watching TechnoTips jQuery tutorial. So this is part 9th of this video series. In this video I'll be discussing about the event handler attachment using on, off and one method. Okay, so here we have all three methods, that is on, off and one method. The on method is used to attach an event handler function for one or more events to the selected elements, and the off method is used to remove an event handler. The one method is also used to attach an event handler function, but that function is executed at most once per element per event type. Okay, and here you can see the parameter that we are passing in all three methods. So the first parameter is the event, so it is nothing but the event types that we already have discussed in previous videos. So you can pass multiple event types by putting a space between them, like mouseenter space mouseleave space click. Okay, and the second parameter is your selector. So a selector is string which is used for filtering the descendants of the selected element that actually trigger that event. Okay, and the third parameter is your data. You can pass any data to your handler function, and the fourth is your handler function, which is actually doing your task. Okay, so here you can see the example of on, off and one method. So in the on method we will try all these example. The first example, you can see the syntax here. So we have the selector and then on method, and we have just passed only two parameter here. Like the first parameter is your click, that is your event types, and the second parameter is your handler function. Okay, and in case 2, if you notice that we have just passed two event types like click and space mouseleave. Okay, and the second is my event handler. And in the third case, if you see, the first parameter is my event type, and then I can pass the data inside my event handler, and here with the help of event.data.fname I can access whatever I have just passed inside this array. Okay, and you can we will see the example of multiple event handler. Okay, and here you can see the example of off method. Just this is the selector and this off method, and inside that we just pass the event type. So here we have click, so it will just disable the click handler function for this button element. Okay, and here is the example of on method. So let's move to the Visual Studio and let's see each and every method with proper example. Okay, so in the previous video I have just discussed about the Windows and document event. So here you can see when I just minimize my this window, so I just get the updated height and width. So let's see, when I increase the width of this window, then I will have the different width. Okay, and here when I start scrolling, then I can the event get scroll event get fire. Okay, so now let's fulfill our today's objective. So first of all, I just delete each and everything from here so that it can be clear to you. Let's remove everything. Okay, so first of all we will discuss about the on handler, on methods. So let's create a div first, and inside that I'll just create a paragraph, and then let's take button element. Okay, and let's take a class button class, and then let's give an id equal to button1. Okay, and I'll just create 4 button for you. See, button 2, button 3, button 4, and let's say the simple handler, that is click or simple handler. That is the first case 1, so simple handler. Okay, and here we will discuss the second example. So first I'm going to access that button 1. Okay, so the dollar access by ID, say hash button 1. Okay, here is your selector, and then use on method, and inside that here you will see four types of parameter you can pass. Let's say here. Okay, here you can see the event types, then selector, then data, and then function. Okay, so this selector and the data is an optional parameter. So here first I will just pass the click event type. Okay, and then I'll just pass the function, which is your handler function. So just function, write a function here, and just do alert. Okay, let's say simple handler. Okay, or you can just write single event and single handler. So we have single event types and single event handler. We have just one function only. Okay, now let's try this example. So here we have 4. Okay, just remove this overall scroll. So we have 4 buttons. So when I click on this, see, I'll get alert, single event and single handler. It's working now. Now let's discuss the second case. Let's copy that. This is the case 1. The second is the case 2. Let's paste it here, and I'll just, now you just want to have several event types. See, multiple event types and single handler. Okay, handler function. So you have, let's say, put a space and use mouseleave. Okay, and just alert this, or instead of alert I'll just use that span example. Okay, now let's create a span here, span, and give it a style equal to, let's say, color colon red. Okay, and this is a single span, so I can access it directly with the dollar, with the selector span, which is the element selector, dot text equal to, I'm just setting a text here. See, multiple event type but single handler, dot fate, or just set if. Okay, now here we have 2 event types, click and mouseleave, and on the button click 2. Okay, simple handler, or here we have multiple event type. So here's example of multiple event types, and let's try that. So here we have C. Let me remove that also. So here dot fade in, inside that slow, and dot fade out inside that slow. Okay, and just add a style here, display initially none. Okay, so initially you will not see this span, and here when I enter, see, when I enter inside this region, element region, and when I getting out of this region, see, I'm just getting, when I'm just moving this cursor out of this region, then I'm getting that message. See, multiple event types, and here, and the second, when I click on this event, then again I'm just getting the same message here, because on the second button click, I'm just attaching the event handler function here, same event handler for click and mouseleave. Okay, and I can also attach mouseenter event types, let's say. Okay, so it will work for all 3 event types. The same message, I'll just get the same message in all 3 cases, whether I click that button or I leave that region or enter into that region. Okay, let's refresh it. Let's see, when I enter into that region, I'll just get message alert, and when I exit out of this region, and I get message alert, again I am entering, and when I clicking, see, when I click this button, again I am just getting the same. So here, this is the example of multiple event types with a single handler function. So this is the second case, and now we will discuss the third case. Let's just copy that and here paste. Let's say I have one event type, okay, and I just want to pass parameter. So pass data to the handler function. Okay, so I just want to pass the handler function. So let's say in array, I'll just pass it. Okay, so here you will see this comma, here you will see types, selector, data, and function. So this array denotes this data. Okay, so here we can say, let's say first name colon Ashish, and it should be in a string, and comma L name, last name, colon, in bracket dy. Okay, control KD, and here we are passing some data to this handler function, and here we will receive the first parameter would be our event. Okay, and here we will receive the actual data. Okay, so span.text, let's say the first name is space last name. So here we will get the event. These data will be I'll just get these data from this event. So just event dot data dot, here you will see the first name, and then plus, put a space between them, and then plus event dot data dot last name, lname. Okay, control KD. Okay, so here in this way I can pass data to this handler function. Okay, now save it and run this. So I will just bind this to button 3. Let's passing data to handler. Okay, so this is my third button, and here when I click on this, so here you can see I'm just getting Ashish.dy. Okay, let's see, click on that again, Ashish space dy. Here again I'm clicking, so I'm just, when I click I just passed two data, first name and last name, and here I just received that data. Okay, so this is the case 3. Now the case 4 is, just copy this. Okay, now I just want to attach multiple handler. Okay, so to do that we just need, let's say delete that. Okay, so inside this on method you just need to use array, and here you can just pass like click colon your function handler 1, do anything here, and then put a comma here, then your mouse enter, second event type mouse enter, and then again your function, and do some stuff here, control KD. Okay, now let's say on the click you just want to add something, let's say span. Okay, span dot text should be a click event. Okay, and mouse intro, here you are just printing different message, so mouse enter event was triggered. Okay, control KD again. So here in this way you can pass, let's say okay, you can pass multiple event types, and which will have separate functions. Like on click I just want to write this message, a click event, or on mouse enter I'll just click I just write this message. Okay, so I'll just execute it on 4, and the case 4 was multiple event handler. Okay, so let's write here multiple event handler. Now refresh it. Here is your case 4, that is multiple event handler. So here you can see as soon as I enter into this region I'll just get message mouse enter event was triggered, and when I click on this then a click event. Okay, here see again I'm just entering into this region, so mouse enter was triggered. Let's say I'm just removing this one so that it can be not fading out and fading in. let's remove that, refresh it. Okay, I'm entering into that reason. Okay, I just need to remove this display none so that the span could be visible. Okay, now I'm just entering into that reason, so I just get mouseenter event was triggered, and when I click on that event, so I just get a click event was triggered. Okay, so this was the fourth case. You can attach multiple event handler against multiple event types, and now I just want to discuss the fifth case. Let's say case 5. Okay, now let's pass all 4 parameters inside this on method. Okay, so how can you do that? So here you have your div element, here you have your paragraph element, and then use a span here, and just give a button class to this. Okay, and just give an ID to it, ID equal to, let's say, span child. Okay, or child span. Okay, so this is my child span, and now let's copy one of code. Let's say let's copy that, and here I'm just pasting. Okay, so here I'll just pass all parameters here. Okay, let's say comma. Okay, so the first parameter is type, then second is selector, and third is data, and fourth is function. Now pass the selector name, let's say span, and instead of button I'm just using div. Okay, so div has triggered this click event, and the span is the selector. Okay, if you see that this point here, this selector, so a selector you can pass a string, selector string, which is for filtering the descendant of the selected element that triggered the element. Okay, so actually this div element has triggered this click event, but if you pass this span, then it will work only for span element. Okay, so here we have div. Okay, and here we have span element. Okay, and let's write here something, click me, or child span, click. Okay, and just copy that. When I'm clicking this span, I just want to add some message here. Let's say, okay, so I'll just receive this data here, and here just pass message on child span data colon this and plus event. Okay, and don't need to fade out. Okay, so let's try that. Hash child span dot this. Okay, so div and on that, and just remove this span outside of this, just put this span outside of this div element. Okay, reload this. So here you have your span. When you click on this, so here you can see child span data, and here you can see the data. Let me put some border so that it can be visible to you. Here you can put the classes button and style border 2px solid blue. Okay, and the color red. Okay, and here child span has received save this. Now here you can see the child span is here, and now I'm clicking on this child span. Okay, when I click, so I'll just get child span has received data equal to Ashish divide. Okay, so here we have seen the fifth case in which we have just passed all four parameters. Here you can see the parameter types. The first one is types, second selector, then data, and then function. So type and this selector, and then this data, and then this handler function. Okay, and if I don't pass this selector name, then the same code will be run, the same function will be running on the div click also. Okay, let me add this style to this div element. Okay, let's say green, add some different color. So this is my green, let's say reload. So this is your div. Okay, and if I remove this span here, so this is basically a selector. So I just want to show you what is written here. A selector string for filtering the descendant, remember, descendant of the selected element that trigger the event. Okay, so here the span is the descendant element, and the event was triggered by this div. Okay, so if I remove this span, let's see. Okay, child span click. If I click on the span or this complete div, I'll just get the same message. Let me reload it here, and let me click here. So this is the div, and here you can see the same function is executing. Okay, so the second parameter you can use, like if you want to filter that particular selector. Okay, so control Z. Okay, so this was the fifth case, and okay, so here we have just passed all parameters. Okay, and here the sixth case I just want to discuss here. Like say sixth case is case 6 is that I can receive conditional based functioning. Let's say condition based handler. It's very simple. Just copy that here, and you can, instead of it's work like multiple handler. Okay, so let's say I just pass this click event, and here I have returned this function, and here I will just receive the event types. If the event type is click, then I'll receive here the event type is click. Let's pass one more event like mouse enter or mouse leave. Okay, and on mouse leave, see, now condition is that if event dot type equal to, let's say if it is a click event, then let's say I'm just control X control KD here. See, child span dot text will be my, let's say, right, it was clicked, it was click event. Okay, and else, let's copy that, it was a mouse enter event. Okay, now here I'll just create another button for this. Let's copy that, let's say call it 5, and let's write handler based on condition. Okay, and now just pass this hash button 5. Okay, so you have click and you have mouse. Let's reload this. Okay, so I'm just entering my mouse inside this region and leaving. Okay, so it was mouse enter, oh sorry, I just need to write here the it was mouse leave. Okay, save and reload that. Okay, so I'm just entering and I am just moving my cursor out of this region. So here you will see it was a mouse leave event, and when I click on that, it was a click event. See, when I click on that, it was a click event, and when I am leaving that mouse, so it was the mouse leave event. So based on you can receive this event type, so based on that you can have multiple event handler. Okay, you can do this stuff. So it is same like this multiple event handler. Okay, now let's discuss the of event handler. Sorry, of method here. So let's create a button here, that is button 5 or button 6. Let's copy that, and button 6 for this one. Let's copy that, and here I'm just adding the same example and deleting this one. Delete also and paste it here. So button 6, when it will be clicked, so let's say I'm just adding button click alert button was clicked. Okay, so I have just bound the click event to this button here. So here you can see button 5, and just remove the text of method. Okay, so here when I click on this button, I'll just get the alert button was clicked. Okay, and if I use the off method here, I have just bound the handler, and same thing will be removed. Let's say off. When I write here off, then I just don't need to pass any function here. So off, click. Okay, so now you will not be able to click on that button. See, just click here, you can see how many times I'm just clicking on that. Okay, so this is off method. It is used to detach the event handler from the particular element. So here we have, let's suppose the second example is mouseenter. Okay, mouseenter, and here we will see alert button was clicked or was mouseenter. Okay, so I have just disabled the off. I have just removed this click event handler. I have just removed the handler from this click event type, but still it will have the mouseenter. So it will, let's say the example, when I enter into this region, I'll just get the alert. Again, I think I just need to use mouseleave. Okay, when I enter into this region and exit, then I'll just get the alert. When I enter into this region and when I click, it will not working. Okay, so because let's say I have just exited the mouse, see, when I exit I just get the alert. When I enter and click, no. Okay, so it just removed the click even from this event handler from this select button selector. Okay, now let's discuss the one method. So I'm just doing the same example for, let's create one more button here. Just copy that and paste. Write one method. Okay, and let's call it button 7. And here I just want to write, let's copy that and paste here, button 7. And here instead of on, I just used one method, and here you will see I have just found this click and dbl click. So I have just found two events, and I'm just writing here alert, say click or double click. Okay, so I have just attached the event handler to this event types click and double click with one method. Now let's see here, one method. Okay, when I click on this button, I'll get alert. Okay, now when I again click on this button, it will not work, and when I just double click on this method, see, it's working now. okay, and when I again double clicking on this method, it's getting disabled. So now the click and double click won't be working. So this is what written here. It attach a handler to an event for element, but the handler is executed at most once per element per event type. Okay, so here the event types is our click and mouseleave, and it will work for per element per event type. Okay, so let's see, my element is button 6 and it will work for click and mouseleave. So this is the different event types, so it will work for one, at most one. Okay, now let's reload this and again see the example here. When I click on this, it will work for the first time, and when I click for the second time, see, it's not working. And so the one event type is clear, and the second event type is double click. Okay, because I have just bound the double click here, double click. Okay, and let's say just copy that, double click on that, so I'll just get the alert. Now the click and double click is not working on the next time, second time. Okay, so this was all about on, off, and one method. So I hope it's very easy, and I have discussed all the scenario here, and if you have any query, then you can just put your comment in the comment section. And if you I hope you understood this concept, and if you like this video, then give us a thumbs up, and I'm available for your any query. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, then give a thumbs up, and do share this video among your friends, and have a great day.